The verb analyse requires more detail again than explain. One way of thinking about this is using the word because. So what are the reasons behind the reasons that you're talking about? Let me show you what this might look like. So again, we're talking about analysing, so we're talking about the causes of World War I, this time we're talking about analysing them, and we'll use, again, the same three reasons as we've used in previous videos, which means we start with imperialism, the desire for empire. So imperialism, we have the Austro-Hungarian Empire wanting more territory, and in particular wanting Serbian territory. They already had a large Slavic population. Imperialism also means that there had been for many years rivalry between significant European countries, and this is particularly because Britain and France had quite long established colonies outside of Europe, but Germany, newly unified in the 1870s, felt like it had to, I guess, catch up with its rivals, Britain and France, economic and political rivals. And so the desire for empire leads to rivalry between those countries. This had, in fact, in the previous few years before World War I started, already led to confrontations, in particular in North Africa, over which European country would control various areas, usually with Britain and France on one side and Germany on the other. So this tension already exists. So this this rivalry rather, increases tension, which makes it more likely that that an issue or a problem in Europe in particular would escalate more than it would have perhaps without that existing tension. Secondly, the alliances were initially formed in order to protect the different countries involved. Unfortunately, ironically, they were to try and prevent war from breaking out, because there are alliances between those countries and therefore they shouldn't go to war with each other. But because of these alliances, Serbia knew it could rely on assistance from Russia. And Austria-Hungary could rely on Germany. And therefore, when you have Austria-Hungary and Serbia in conflict with each other, this also made it more likely that a small confrontation between, as we see, these two countries could become something greater because of the alliances that each could call on. It leads to World War I. Thirdly, the assassination. Austria-Hungary holds Serbia accountable, and makes what Serbia thinks is unreasonable demands. And these demands are designed to degrade, even to remove, Serbia's independence. Serbia actually accepts a number of the demands, but not all of them. Which means that then Austria-Hungary presents Serbia with an ultimatum that Serbia needs to accept all of the demands, otherwise there will be war. But Serbia rejects that, and therefore we get to World War I. You can see the difference between explain on the one hand and analyse. There's more background information, there's a greater explanation for what each one of these causes contributes to World War I. So if you were writing this in a paragraph or in an essay, you would be using because, and then you would be explaining what that the reason behind that particular issue that you're discussing. So identify, explain and analyse are very much along a continuum in terms of level of detail. Fourthly, we're going to have a look at the question of evaluate, which is quite different.